Every city has a story, and every man carries a chapter of it. Big Norman is Newark, born and raised, refined by the fire. He's seen freedom, felt loss, and found peace. Not in the world's riches, but in the wealth of faith and love. Cultural currency. How you doing, Big Norman? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good right now. For
That's
an old
what's
guy,
up.
I'm all right.
That's what's up. And I'm glad, you was able to come in and sit down and speak with me today because I would like to bridge the gap between, some of the elders of the city and also some of the youth, also speaking upon wealth, happiness, family, and other things like that. And so let's start off with what are some of your earliest memories of growing up in a brick city?
Well, my earliest memories is it was hard.
It was hard.
It was hard, yeah, no doubt. During that time, we didn't have no electric gas. We were living like what they call a cold water flat.
Okay.
And a cold water flat was exactly what it says. A cold water flat. No heat at all.
No running water?
One running water, but it was only cold water.
Okay.
Any water you wanted, you had to heat it on the coal stove.
Oh, so you had to heat it up to take your baths or to
Right.
do little
And the
meals and
bath
stuff?
consists of a tin tub.
Mm.
And you fill it up with hot water and then put some cold water on it, and that's it.
Okay. And so what year was that?
Early part of the 50s, maybe 54, 55 or something like that. I don't
Okay.
think I was quite 10 years old.
Okay.
I'm just going by what I remember.
Yeah. And so in that era, are you the oldest of your siblings?
No, actually, it was my older brother. He died before I came along. He was the first, but he died of pneumonia.
Okay.
And my sister, which is gone now, she was a year older than I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you came up with your older sister?
Yeah, my older sister, and I had a younger brother, about 9 years older, younger than I am. My sister's name was Georgiana. My brother's name was Walter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Georgiana, Walter, and Norman.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
Okay. So that was the crew coming up. And so I guess it was never a dull moment coming up in that household. Did you go to school much back in that era?
Well, I didn't start the school until late, but yeah, I went to school, but that's something else. I went to school. I was born with several heart problems.
Okay.
Some of them still bother me to the day. But you got to realize the technology in the medical profession wasn't like it is now.
Exactly.
And having a heart problem with your heart was a serious business. I had enlarged heart, rheumatic fever, and a murmur.
Oh.
And all the doctors, from what I understand, all the doctors told my mother and my parents that I wouldn't live through the night. And all of them gave up except for one. And that's why my name is Norman Richard, because that was his name.
Oh, that was the doctor's name?
Yeah, that was his name. And back then, it wasn't no black doctor, so it wasn't no black doctor.
Yeah.
So in any case, he fought for me through the night, and he brought me back to the point that I don't know how long, a couple of days or whatever, I don't know. They sent me down to what was one of the best hospitals at the time. It's still good now, as far as I know. But that was St. Michael's down on Central Avenue, right on High Street.
Yeah.
And I stayed there close to 2 years from what I understand.
Wow.
And I was in I remember this part. I was in a net, a plastic.
Oh, so they kind of had you in a bubble. I kind of remember it was like the movies back then. It was the bubbles around you.
Yeah, it was oxygen.
Okay.
But I was sleeping and it was like a bubble or balloon or something like that.
Yeah, like a bubble chamber because the air or whatever, because you had the pneumonia in it. Yeah. You had to get that pure air.
I don't know if I had pneumonia, but I had to have help breathing.
Oh, okay, okay, because your lungs weren't strong enough. Apparently.
Yeah, my heart wasn't. That's why they wasn't expecting me to live.
Okay.
But anyway, when after I don't know how many years, maybe 2 years, I think, or something like that, I believe, I came home. Now this is cut some of the time off, but what happened that after a while, I went to school after I got old enough, and I
Okay.
think that was about 5 hours late getting to school. And I had to go to a special school, almost like a hospital or something,
Okay.
for very sick people.
Yeah.
And from what I remember, we didn't do very much, and definitely didn't get no education. Wasn't no reading and writing, making letters. It's nothing like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It was
So it was
totally different.
basically like a glorified daycare. They would keep you
Basically,
there
yeah,
and
yeah.
watch you for the day, and then when your parents come
That's
pick you up, you go home at the end of the day.
Yep, that was it.
Okay.
And for a while, when I first got there, parents wasn't even coming to pick me up. It was just almost like a hospital.
Oh, okay. So you would basically stay there.
I would stay there at first, and then I don't know how long it took, but after a while, I went home. And I went. They started to me in school, but I never, I never actually was taught
Yeah.
because they, I guess they were more worried about my health than they was education.
Okay.
So after a while, then they put me in a regular class. And if I would guess, I was maybe about between 5 and 6 years old, maybe a little older, I don't know.
Okay.
And they put me in a different class, and I get there. I don't know A from red. I don't know the difference. I don't know
Yeah.
nothing. I haven't been taught anything.
Exactly.
So in
So
any
you was
case,
behind basically when you
I
came to
started
the.
off behind.
Yeah.
And back then, it was not like now. If I was in that, any child was in that predicament, they would at some point start teaching them whatever level they could.
Yeah, give you
But
the
back then,
tutoring, or
me being black,
they just put you in there and just threw you to the wolves.
that's right, and just they promoted me. I went on to the ninth
Oh, so they
grade,
just basically just lifted you up and pushed you through all of the grades.
all the grades, and I didn't graduate into high school
Okay.
because when my 16th birthday came, I think it was, yeah, I went to school and they had papers for me to sign
Okay.
so I can leave school. I'm out of school. I don't have to go to school no more. So I mean, 16 years old. I mean, it was a good idea to me.
Okay,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
just to
Great.
get you up. Yeah, you wasn't
So
thinking about the education part. You was just like,
right.
oh, I get to be outside.
Yeah, you know, I don't have to come to school no more.
Yeah.
So, and that's why right now, the last time I was tested a few years back, I was reading on a third grade level, you know, and I'm doing a little better, but not at where education is now and technology is. Using the pencil is not what it's all about now, you know.
Exactly. Because shoot, the kids don't even write in cursive nowadays
Right,
anymore.
that's
They're not
right.
even teaching them that.
Exactly,
And so,
exactly.
yeah, it's a
So
different era.
I'm totally out of place. But I came a long ways from where I came from, and I came up hard, and I had to get what I got hard. Some of it, especially at the beginning, I stole. I even mugged a few people, you know.
Okay.
But it wasn't just for sneakers or name brands clothes and nothing like that. It was for me to take care because my father wasn't at the house, and you know, I was the man in the house. That's what I was told. I got a
Okay.
certain age, you know.
Yeah,
And
because I
you,
mean, I imagine your younger brother being 9 years younger than you, he
yeah,
couldn't really, fend for
that's
anybody or
right,
do anything.
right,
And so you kind of took on that responsibility of
right.
being the man of the house and trying to provide.
And that's what I was taught by other men in the family.
Okay.
And normally now, you know, it's no mother, you the oldest male, there's no other man in the house. You got the responsibility of taking care of your family the best you can and
Yes.
protect my family the best I can.
Exactly.
So basically that's why I was doing what I was doing, because I had to try to keep food on the table. And we was on welfare, but anybody know anything about welfare back then, it was rough. You wasn't getting nothing. You get a check once a month. From as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't nothing to it because I was still raggedy. And my young life was about like what's that show?
With JJ, Good Times?
No, it goes back further than that.
Further than that?
It was in black and white. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I don't know. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So your life kind of modeled that show in that era of that time.
Yeah, because like we didn't have no lights. All we had was lamp lights. You know.
Sit back a little bit.
Okay. All we had was
Lamp
lamps
lights
that the glass lamps
with the
with
kerosene in it.
inside, and the lamp and the shade that goes on top. And my job was to clean them and make sure they're ready because there wasn't no lights.
Okay.
So
But so as you was running around and you was doing the things that you was doing out here, was some of the street names still the same? Do you kind of remember like being on some of these blocks and things? And
yeah, a lot of street names have changed. I mean, like down there on, I think Martin Luther King Boulevard, they call it now.
Yeah.
Back then it was Belmont Avenue.
Okay.
And a lot of streets has been changed for one reason or another. You know what I'm talking about?
A lot of the streets have different names now.
And just like I have a son that's in prison, and he come out of prison, he's supposed to be soon, the next couple of years. A lot of things he won't even recognize.
He won't even recognize.
But the new buildings came up and the name of the streets, yeah. But
yeah,
the streets now is a lot rougher. But when my family used to say it was rough out there in the street, because we was fighting and we had some wine heads out there. It was some drug heads down there on Howard Street at the Howard Street bar and different stuff like that. And a lot of stuff was going on down there.
Okay.
But for me and my life at that time, it wasn't nothing like it is now. You can get killed now by a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And
so you was telling me off camera that, you know, back in the days, if you have an argument or a disagreement with one of your homeboys, you know, y'all could scrap it out. And then next thing you know, y'all will be chilling, hanging out, doing something later on. And then if he do it again, y'all have another fight again, but y'all will be back homeboys. But, you know, it is kind of like a different time now, because even if you lose a fight in this day and age, you beat the boy up, he gonna try to come back and get you. So
that's right. That's the biggest thing. Back then, my time, you fight, and the biggest thing, long as you fight.
Yeah.
If you lose, you lose, but you got to fight. If you want any kind of respect at all.
Yeah.
But if you don't fight, you's a punk. And that was serious. Being a punk was serious. So yeah, we would battle, and an hour later, less, or a couple of days later, you're best friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd be still sitting somewhere panting from the fight, beat up, swollen, arm sore, whatever, from wrestling. But you're sitting there and you're talking about it. Exactly. No big deal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the big thing. Nowadays you can't take an ass whooping. Everybody's tough. But as soon as you pop them one time and they lose a fight, then they want to go get the gun.
Exactly.
So,
that's kind of the culture now.
Yes.
And I also even remember when I was much younger, there wasn't as many people that had guns. No. There was only a select few, maybe 1 or 2 people that probably had a gun. Now you don't know who was packing it. So it's definitely a different era.
Back then, adults had guns, if anybody had, especially because back then it was right after the war. So a lot of
the Vietnam War specifically?
No, this is the Second World War.
Oh, Second World War. So even further back than that then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And a lot of people was coming from the South and had been in the service or whatever, and they brought their weapons with them.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times guys used to find where the parents had the guns at and bring one out. And it was usually a 22 or maybe
something
38. Yeah. Compared to what's
exactly what they got now.
Yeah. So yeah, every once in a while you hear about, other than fighting with your hand, the biggest thing you had to worry about other than next to a gun was straight razors.
Oh, so that was kind of the culture. People kind of had those straight razors and they'd slice you up from ear to ear, huh?
Those straight razors open you up, you wouldn't even know you cut.
Oh man, because it happens so fast, you just feel like that blood running down or see it or something. And that's how you know you was cut.
You reach up to do something like that and handful of blood, you know.
Oh man,
so, yeah, I've seen that happen a couple of times.
Okay,
but it wasn't nearly as bad. But it was, and other than that, Newark wasn't. It was mostly white. It was not quite run down as it is now. In certain areas, like this part right here, that was really nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, really nice. And around the parks, it's still around the parks is better than what it is here.
Yeah.
But over there near Weekway and Branchford Park, it's nice areas around there.
And
But
so
you
there's another
couldn't go
part.
in that area.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
kind of get to, because we spoke about it again off camera, and you was telling me that the white boys, they would kind of like try to chase y'all away from the parks. Y'all couldn't even go to the parks or through
Right.
the parks.
Because Newark Stadium over there used to have baseball games, basketball games, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Now, when we went over there, we have a little something. We used to have homemade brass knuckles in our pockets.
Okay, so if
And
y'all
some,
went over there, y'all was looking for trouble.
yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
So even some of us would have knives, and I forgot what they used to call them, but knives with the button on the side. You push
Oh,
the button,
the flick
yeah,
joints.
and it's pop out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, the butterfly knives. I think that's what they call them,
Yes,
maybe.
if that, and you had to be ready when you went over there. You had your girls with you. Yeah, several times we had to fight. Several times we had to run out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once they find out we over there and the place is about to turn out, then when you walk out, they ready.
Oh, so they out there waiting for you. You over there, you done had a good time, but now when it's time to go, you got to get through the...
But one thing I'd say that was amazing to me even back then. Back then, the girls, the women would fight with us.
Okay.
It ain't like, like you see on TV, the women break out running.
Okay.
They be battling too.
So they was down for you, because that's what they say, man. Any revolution is gonna have the women too. You can't do nothing really without the women. The women is, our backbone, so they gonna be with us. So
yeah, they was there, man.
that was dope.
They was really.
That was dope.
And a lot of them got hurt and beat up and all that stuff too. Someone got locked up, but they was there, man. That was beautiful.
That must have been the time. And so, like, how was, as you started getting into kind of like your teen years, because, your uncles and, the older men in your family was telling you that you kind of had to be the man of the house. And so that was around 12. But as you start to get a little bit older, how was your young life as, you start getting into women and things of that nature? Like, how was you out here moving?
Well, by that time, that was when I actually started breaking and entering, mugging. I mean, it was a time when I was about 15, 16, 17, something like that. My job, I wasn't working nowhere. My job was mugging.
Yeah, just to get a little bit of coins any way you
when
could.
I get ready, when the weekend come, I would go to bars and after hour joints, because them places was full of gambling and stuff, and wait till somebody
people
come
had
out
their
there.
money, but they might have been a little bit drunk, so they was kind of easy Vicks.
There you go. And I would wait and get myself situated where he's coming at me. And as he's coming at me, when we get right close enough to him, I just spin, boom, hit him. He dropped.
Okay.
Take his watch, go in his pocket, take his wallet, whatever, and get out of there.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while. I don't know how long, but for a while until I got my first job.
Okay.
And then I started. I'm still doing it from time to time, but I was
when that paycheck might be in between checks or something like that, or you might need some.
And then the paycheck wasn't much. I work a whole week and wouldn't bring home $50.
Wow.
Because I made the first job I got, I think, was about 90 cents an hour. And then the second job I got was $1 an hour. No overtime, nothing like that. Just a straight $1 an hour. So when the taxes got finished, I might bring home $30-something.
So let's stay there for a split second. So if you bring home around 37, how much would that actually stretch and last in that era? Because I know like the inflation is not as high as it is now with eggs and milk and things of that nature.
$37, or anything around $30 or below, even below it, that was a lot of money.
That was a lot of change for the time, huh?
I mean, even during that time when I was about 16, 17 years old, $5 will buy you a lot.
Yeah.
And Converses, sneakers, that's what's thing that was happening in my world. You know what I mean?
So was it, because I remember hearing this, was it like the Converses and the Pro Cats, or? No, not really.
Well, as far as I know, Then I don't know anything about the protest. It was just one sneaker,
Okay, just the Converse.
Converse, and that was it.
Yeah.
It might have been something else, but we couldn't afford it,
Okay.
so we wouldn't.
But the big thing in your neighborhood was the Converses. If you had a
Converse.
pair of Cons, you was the man, kinda.
As long as you had the star on them and it said Converses, you was in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I remember, you know, as I was younger, they started coming up with all of the different colors. But back then, it was just only the black pair or the white pair.
Black and white.
Okay.
That was the popular one.
Yeah.
And it was white ones. Yeah.
Okay, but y'all ain't really care for the white ones too much.
No, not until it started getting popular on the court.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
that's when, you know.
With the basketball players and stuff like that.
That's what, you know, that made the difference. Yeah.
Okay. And so at this time, you know, you was about 16 to 17. So this was still, you know, early 60s. It wasn't quite time to the riots had came up in the city of Newark yet.
Nah.
And so do you kind of remember like the Newark riots and how things started to change after that point? Or was it kind of a blur?
No, can't forget that. That was a rough time. But first thing about that, during that time, it was really militant.
Okay.
We was militant. Newark was militant.
Okay.
We was fighting to survive, like I said about Newark Stadium and dealing with white and Italian. But it's trying to. It was like they said. The best thing we had going for us when we started to discover the Black Panthers.
Okay, so that kind of gave y'all that edge.
So they started coming from, I think it was New York. They started coming from New York to Newark.
Okay.
And that made a big difference. And we started to really protect and respect each other by being black. And then the next big thing I remember was James Brown.
Okay. Black and I'm proud.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's when, you know, boom, what?
So culturally, and I was a young kid, you know, hearing that maybe like on a Sunday with moms and them cleaning up in the house. But speak to that. Speak to like hearing that song and kind of what it did for the youth, man. And when y'all was out here running around, man.
You talking about pride. And I mean, during that time before James Brown, actually, you called me black, we had to fight. That's many times I had to fight because a black person would call me black.
Yeah.
I ain't
Okay.
black, nigga, you know, boom, we had it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when he
So it
came
was
out with that
kind of
song,
slanderous, like at that time before
it's
that.
like calling us a fag or something.
Yeah.
Excuse me language, but
Okay.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, when he came out with that song and listened to what he was saying, he was telling us, I'm black and I'm proud.
Yeah.
Then all that disappeared. And it gave us such a pride and self, man. And it's totally changed the way we were and the way we thought about ourselves.
Yeah.
And then it was after that, for a long while, we walked down the street and I met you, but I didn't know you from Adam. You're a total stranger.
Yeah.
We would do this.
Okay.
And that, you know, that was salute.
Yeah.
You know, power to the people, something like that, you know.
Okay.
And that was a lot, man. It was getting out now. It don't happen now, but before, during that time, that era, the cops would pull up on somebody on the street, and not only us, the young people, but people would come out the stores and stop, pull their cars over, and walk over and say, "What do you do? What's wrong?"
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it was a presence about it. They wasn't
Yeah.
about to just let them just rag you on up and
They
stuff
was
like that.
doing that, but it got so then that, you know, that wasn't happening like that.
Yeah.
But they would step up, you know, what's wrong? What you do, man? It's something like that.
Exactly.
And
So
they
it was
might,
a real sense of community.
yeah, 'cause
Togetherness.
when I walk up there, you walk one or two, and you're talking to the police, they get kind of nasty. But and it didn't take long, seem like, and then you look around, and it's 7 or 8 different people. And then more people showed up because
So
they
once
see the crowd, they come over.
crowd
you know?
gathers, then the police kind of had to be on their
They
best
had to
business.
back off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after not long after that, that's when you start seeing. I remember when I first seen my first police cop in uniform.
Okay.
That was, I mean, to us it was a celebration. Oh yeah, things get better now. We got some brothers in there. Oh man, we got some brothers. But
They was acting just as crazy as the white folks, huh?
It just yeah, they was trying to prove themselves to them, you know.
Yeah.
And they would say, I'm not black, I'm blue.
Oh man. So that's kind of, I guess, maybe where that whole blue shield stuff come from that they be talking about is the shield. They put the shield over everything.
Right.
But when you look at it, it's like at the end of the day, the police is supposed to be there to protect society.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, these people, it says more about them than it does about us, that people don't like you just because the color of my skin. My skin looks this way, so you don't like me.
Right.
And you think you better because your skin may look like that wall over there. And that says more about them than it does you. But
that's the way it was. That's exactly the way it was. Man.
But so that era is what kind of sparked the riots, you know, with all the togetherness and, you know, we sticking up for our brothers and things of that nature.
We had such pride for each other
and
for our race, and we started to want to learn about our history. You know, because we used to always fight about, nigga, you from Africa, you African ass, you know, something like that there. And that was a fight right there. But then after a while, that started to change. You know,
you started accepting our brother.
Yeah, we started learning about your history, something about your history, and we came from a country that had kings and queens, and we invented so much after we got over here that we don't know about our history over here. That we didn't know nothing about. We can know much about it as we can now, but back then it wasn't taught in school.
It wasn't taught. And they took the patents of the stuff that we invented and they used it for themselves.
And took the responsibility for it.
Exactly. They didn't get no black people no credit.
No, even in school. Only person, I wouldn't call him a person, only character that you learned about in school was, I think, Black Sambo.
Okay.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah, Sambo.
Yeah, and it's just a little comedy thing, but it was all about making the black man look bad.
Exactly.
Stupid, you know, black face, white lips, and big old eyes. You know, man. It was,
kind of like a mischief, and he always getting into trouble and eating the watermelon and shucking the job and stuff.
Right. Dancing and exactly what they thought about us. And that's the only thing you use. And they had a book that they taught about Black Sambo in class.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the way it was. That's the way it was.
Yeah.
And another thing about school, a lot of people I talked to, and I never heard of that, but Robert Treat used to be right down the street.
Okay.
And they had a whooping machine.
But when you say Robert Treat, because now I know that as the hotel that's down there. But so when you say Robert Treat, speak to that so the audience can know what you mean.
Robert Treat was a school. He built a new school, a technical school down there. It's on West Market Street. And
where Newark Tech used to be, or
Newark Tech? Nah, I don't know.
No, not there.
No,
across from the courthouse.
No, right across from the hospital.
Oh, okay.
It's a new school just built there.
Got it.
Yeah, that's where the old school, the school I went to.
Okay, Robert Treat. But so in that school, you saying that they had a whooping machine for the kids?
I've been on it. I know.
No, damn.
They was just lay you down, strap you down. They didn't pull your pants down. At least they didn't deal with me. But they laid down. There's a machine with a wheel on it with straps on it, heavy leather straps.
Wow.
And as that, you know,
to spin you around like the oh, and it smack you as you going around. Oh man.
I'm telling you.
Damn.
Yes. A lot of people don't believe that, but I'm telling you.
But you know what? And you said that, man. I feel like some of these people, man, they some of the most devilish people around, man. And they talk about us and how we act. But who would think to make a whole whooping machine that's gonna get the kids in school, man?
Actually, a machine. And if they didn't use that, they would use their belt, or they had a belt, or either, and what I used to hate, they'd take a yardstick.
Okay.
And make you hold your hand out.
Yeah.
Either this way or that way, one. And smack it.
Oh man, whack that hand, huh?
They may not hit you but 3 times. It hurt then, but for days it would hurt.
Oh, you're gonna feel it. Yeah.
For days. Every time you move your hand a certain way, it's a reminder.
Okay. And so, you know, the riots came, the city was tore down, a lot of black businesses suffered, all the type of businesses suffered. But is that kind of like when it started being more so like a lot of white flight? And then because most of the black people was in one section of Newark back then, to my understanding.
Yeah.
Like in the Central Ward, where like the
Central Ward,
projects was, but then like you were saying, the Italians and everything, they started moving away, so blacks started going into the
Right.
other neighborhoods and stuff like that.
And from what I was told, what I understand, that's why they built 280.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because the white people, you know, downtown Newark was the place for all
Yeah,
them. That's
yeah.
where they worked at and all the
Okay.
businesses was. So they didn't want it because back then you had to come down South Orange Island, Springfield Island, or somewhere like that, Central Island. And after the ride, they wasn't about that.
Oh, so
They
they didn't
wasn't
even want to
driving
touch
through.
the city.
They wasn't driving through Newark.
So 280 was created so they can get from their homes.
Shoot straight down and shoot straight back.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, man, if you look at 280 right there by where Bergen is, that was like a whole community back then. It was
Yeah.
like houses and everything that they tore down to put that up. Man.
And be honest about it, I was one of the ones that was helped tearing it down in the sense that, you know, the machines would break it down, but we was getting paid to save bricks, to knock the concrete off the bricks
Yeah.
and make them the closest to new as you can.
Okay.
And stack them up. Yep. We got paid, I forgot what it was, a certain amount for each brick.
Oh wow.
But that's the way it was.
Yeah. So they employed y'all to do that, and then they wound up putting that highway through the community.
Yeah.
I heard it's something, it kind of escapes my mind now, but it's like through the inner cities, they build those highways and they kind of do something. They kind of does something to the infrastructure of the community. Yeah. I'm not sure right now. I can't really think of it, but I know it's kind of something that kind of dismantles the fabric of the community.
They didn't do it just to help the neighborhood, that's for sure. You know, I think it was like I heard that they just couldn't drive through the white people.
Yeah.
And they couldn't risk them getting hurt or nothing like
exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, I take that highway, you know, every day, or just about every day, and you don't think anything about what was here before that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, next time I get on 280, man, I'll definitely be thinking about that.
And the same thing was with 78. Same thing with that.
Yeah, because that's right there through the community.
Yeah, that's the same with that. Yeah.
Man,
So,
man.
And you know, the worst thing about the ride, other than the buildings and all the city, but the way they done when the riot happened and it actually going on, the National Guards, the project buildings, they were just at target practice. Like when I went down to the Newark Museum years ago, they were showing where they were just shooting up at the project buildings, shooting in the windows. And a lot of people got killed that way.
Yeah.
Now, ain't nobody doing anything that they way up on the 10th floor or whatever.
They're not doing nothing to hurt you from up there.
You see them, 4, 5, 6 of them just standing there, pow, pow, pow. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And then the worst thing, and I thank God that I'm 80 years old, but I lived long enough to see them actually building Newark up. Because Newark looked like it was a battle zone in a sense. But so much was burnt down, or so much was torn down, or so much was destroyed, and it stayed empty lots all over the place for a long time.
For a long time.
I mean, just recently in the last maybe decade or something like that, they really been building up and making
they building a lot of buildings, and the infrastructure is definitely starting to look like something. You can see that they're investing.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. And the other thing is, I'll touch for a moment is I got locked up. I was working with your uncle.
Okay.
Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah, he got me a job. And we was working nights. So it was some crap going on down on 17th Avenue. A Spanish guy had got locked up and they was beating him some kind of way or something. And the neighborhood on 17th Avenue, right down from Hunter Street, they stepped up and said something about it. And that's where it's...
So they wasn't feeling it. They kind of let the police know, basically.
Yeah, and that's what got it started.
Okay.
And then I think a couple other things happened. The police came out in force and mistreated people or hurt somebody, and that's when it really started to blow up. And when I got off of work that night, 12 o'clock, the guy that I was riding with dropped me off at the house. 'Cause I was living with me and Annie had got an apartment.
Okay.
So they dropped me off. I was getting ready to go upstairs, and right around the corner from where we living at on 18th Avenue, it was a used repair shop for TVs.
Yeah.
So we didn't have no TV. So I walked around there, and when I got there, somebody already
It was
broke the
busted
door.
open, yeah.
And people was in there snatching TVs up. So naturally, I wanted a TV. So I go in there
Absolutely.
and get me a TV and a portable and snatch it up. And I'm walking around. I say about distance, maybe 20 yards from.
So you ain't getting nowhere.
I'm walking. This is what happens. Honest, I walked to my front porch with the TV, and the devil said, "Man, you should. This is black and white. You should go around and get you a color TV."
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't drinking, so I took the TV I had instead of taking it and putting it in the hallway or something. I took the TV I had back around the corner to the TV shop, put it back on the shelf, and then I got this here floor mop.
Oh man, a big joint. Because them joints was big. So how you carry that thing by yourself?
I tilted it over, and then I tilted over that way, and then I picked it up and put it here.
Okay.
So I'm coming out the store like this here, toom.
Yeah.
And then when I got
looking like Frankenstein walking down the street with that big old thing.
I hit it, and then I heard slam. Don't move. Black ass niggas, don't you move. Don't cuss me out. And that was it. I got locked up for
snatched you up,
for breaking an entry and I think they called it grand theft.
Grand theft or something too, huh? Yeah, for that TV, for that floor model.
And then I had put the TV down, and they get ready to put handcuffs on me and stuff. They had put handcuffs on me. No, they hadn't. But they called this guy. He was a rookie. Called him out the crowd of cops, and he looked like he's like 19 years old. Looked like maybe weighing 120 pounds or better.
Okay.
And they say, "Hey, go ahead, knock shit out of him." And that boy, wow, he hit me, and just out of reflex.
Yeah, reflex, jump back at him.
Yeah, I got all these cops with guns, but somebody hit you. That's just reflex. You
reflex,
don't think.
Yeah.
So that's when they go ahead.
Well, blow your head off.
And man, all of just stood there staring at that mother.
Yeah, boiling. I know you was, man. I know you was fried.
Be just me and you.
Yeah.
That was hard. I never will forget that moment, man.
Okay.
That was
and
it.
So at that time, had you met your wife and started having kids at that point in time, or was you didn't have any kids yet?
No, we was about to get married. She was pregnant at the time. She was pregnant with Prina.
Oh, okay.
She was pregnant at the time, yeah. And because I remember her coming to Newark Street Jail. I don't know. Some people don't know about Newark Street Jail. It's right there on Newark Street near Central Avenue. Okay. But it's in the back. It's an old building.
Okay.
An old building. They said it's small, but they said it actually used to be a prison back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But when I locked up in there, I seen guys, man, when they asked you to come out on the tier to be count.
Yeah.
And it's a fourth floor, like, what they call it, tier. But a fourth floor, the fourth tier was about what you would consider sixth floor in a house, a building,
Okay, yeah.
And they would walk out, put this step on top of the bar and step off and hit the floor.
Oh, like was committing suicide?
Yep, and just hit. Boom, and like you could feel it in the building.
Then the whole building shake when they jump off.
Yeah, and then you can look down at them and we hollering and calling for the guards. And finally, that 2 or 3 guards came out and looked down at the dude and looked up at us. When he stopped moving, let us know and walked back inside.
Damn, heartless.
It's hard stuff. But one highlight, I was told later when I got out of there that it was the Muslims and the Panthers. At night, they would be bow and arrows. They were shooting bow and arrows at the guards changing shift or coming out for whatever it
Shooting
is.
bow and arrows.
And they hit one dude, and when they hit him, he got the hollering, screaming. Man, we was laughing and all. We couldn't see nothing, but we could hear him. He was hollering for help. And then every now and then you hit, wow, during the day. You couldn't see the flash or nothing.
Okay.
Pow, ping, pow, ping, pow. Just shooting. And that, I mean, we were hollering. Yeah,
so that's how y'all get y'all little get back there. Then come reach over the thing, shoot them arrows down and then.
And the next best thing I seen, it's long gone. It was Suxedal Armory.
Okay.
And the big building that used to house, I think was National Guard.
Oh.
But in any case, when we left the court, that's where they locked us up at. Now, they had us shackled in the leg and shackled in the arm. And we had to walk a step a certain way at the same time because it's like 12, and 6 on each side of the chain. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all kind of had to walk in unison to kind of get by because y'all legs was together.
Move the leg and arm at the same time.
Chain gang.
So when we walked up on the entrance, it was crazy, man. Walked on the entrance, they had a full mounted machine gun with the ammo box and belt running up in it. And white dude sitting behind it. And I was one of the first ones that got off the bus. So I was near the front line. And as we walked up on it, then you see him
loading it up, aiming at y'all.
And we shackled down, man.
Wow.
We can, and then they're gonna do all this. What? It's
intimidation tactics and stuff like that.
It's a gun on this side of the entrance, and it's a gun on that side of the entrance. And then they got National Guard, police, and whatever else standing there with rifles or either handguns or whatever.
Because during that time, did they kind of have like people who would try to come through to the jails and break people out or something when they was transporting?
No, not that I know.
So you felt like all that was just basically unnecessary. You're like, what y'all doing all this for? We already in cuffs, my man.
And that's one other thing happened that I didn't know exactly what it meant at the time, but I really, really appreciate it. It made me feel good. When we got down in the basement, it was long hallway and big rooms. That's where they kept us at.
Yeah.
And that next morning we came out to go to the bathroom. When they let you go to the bathroom, you had 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes to do whatever you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't take a decent leak in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Not if you've been holding it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the bowel movement, that was out. But in case that next morning we came out, and it was quite a few blacks, National Guard, Newark police, and some military uniforms.
Okay.
So we went out to the bathroom because they let you out 2 or 3 times a day for the bathroom.
Wow.
And when we was coming back to the bin that we used to call it, coming back, they be standing there straight up, and I didn't want to stand up, but they had rifles like this here on their shoulders. And then I don't know exactly what the movements was, but as we walked up, and the ones with the guns, handguns, would do like that.
Yeah.
And then the ones with rifle would boom, boom, bam, boom, stand like this here.
Yeah.
And then as we walked past it, boom, 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 pop, pop.
And
stand straight.
Yeah.
So one of the young guys that had been in the service said, "Hey man, that's a salute. They saluting us, man." And the next day, no more blacks.
Oh man.
And when that happened, blacks was mixed with the white and Puerto Ricans or whatever. Wasn't
like the officers.
Yeah. But after that happened, you ain't seen no blacks.
You ain't seeing no more.
No blacks. No black. That was out. They took all of them out. I guess they was figured that eventually they're gonna turn.
They're gonna do something. Yeah,
so
yeah.
They got rid of it. But I felt so good about that, man. And I stayed in there we stayed in there like 3 weeks, man, and that was July. So it was hot. Wasn't no air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then they had started doing what they had to do as far as bowels concerned in the corner. It was
so the room you was in basically was just piled up, and shit all in the corner.
One corner here and one corner there. The room was about, I say like maybe 30 yards
Okay.
in one direction and close to it on the other direction.
Okay.
But after a week, you talking about funky?
Oh
Oof.
man.
In July, and it was like
Ooh.
90 something degrees, and we
Yeah.
in there 24/7. It wasn't no windows open, you know it wasn't no air conditioning.
Oh man, that must have
That
been
was rough.
insane.
And then when they fed us, they had like the aluminum things that they have in the Chinese restaurants with the cardboard top.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And they would have boxes of that. And what they'd do, they'd tell everybody to get back. Because they have guys standing there with even automatic rifles. And standing behind the guys with the boxes like this here. And this they had this big box, and they'd just take handfuls of them plates and just throw them. Boom, boom,
Wow.
boom. And then you had to go for yourself.
Yeah, you had to go for yourself. Yeah.
Now, that
So
the
was
first
it
time-
like on some strong survive type of junk? Like y'all would get more and then some people wouldn't get as much or
right,
get none?
exactly. And then some people will fight you. After you get yours and you're trying to go to your, what we used to call our house, we have cardboard or whatever you could find to lay on, and that was yours.
Yeah.
If somebody in there, when you get back or messing with it, you had to fight.
Yeah, you got to tear them up.
That's right.
What you doing in my space, my man?
Because other than that, you ain't got nowhere to lay.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But I imagine, shit, like you said, only the strong survive. So if you got a nice little cardboard or something, somebody probably trying to take that if they deem that you
Right.
ain't tough enough or you don't deserve that. Let me get that.
And then if they fighting over cardboard in the spot, what they doing about food?
Yeah.
Now you got your food. I didn't seen it happen. You got your food and you give me to sit down and eat. And next thing you know, somebody walk over there, pop, hit you upside the head, snatch your food, then stand there and look at you.
Yeah.
Now you either gonna get up and fight this dude, or you gonna let him have it. And if you let it have it,
it's a wrap. You ain't gonna eat no more.
that's right, you ain't eating no more. 'Cause everybody waiting for you to get yours so they can get it.
Yeah.
And they might have 2 or 3 plates already, but they know they can get yours. They're gonna get that too.
Yeah, they know. It's like you said, if you're a punk, you ain't gonna
That's
survive
it.
around here.
Right. You gotta fight. If you lose, you gotta fight, man. You got to.
Yeah.
But that thing about the service and that they or the black guys saluting us.
That was dope. That was dope.
That's
And so I kind of want to transition to, after you came home and, Prina was born, and you started to having kids. What is the value or the importance now, like kind of like looking back just on family? And, you said you getting a lot older now, and it's inevitable as you get to a certain age and point in time in your life, you start to outlive some of your loved ones.
Oh yeah.
And so when you can look back now, like what is it can you say like about family? Like what is the importance of, cherishing these moments with your people?
Well, the first thing I like to say is this. Though it's a blessing to get my age, 80 or above, and even lower. But the hardest thing about getting old is you lose people. I mean, the older you get, the more you have to deal with life. I mean, and death. And that's hard. You have to deal with one death at a time. Even like with your uncle now, Evans just died. You know? He wasn't blood family, but I've been knowing him ever since I've been knowing Annie. And we used to work together for years, and he taught me a lot. He helped me straighten my life out and kind of calm me down, because before I met Annie, and definitely before I got married and had children, I didn't give a F.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having a hard life. Was hard. I didn't think I was gonna be anything. In fact, the people around, some of my family told me that you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? And at a point, what the hell? I'm going to hell anyways. I'm gonna live life like I want to live it. So when I met my wife, if it wasn't, I'll tell anybody, if it wasn't for me meeting her, And she being the woman that she was at the time, I probably been dead or drugged out or in prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always said, because my father wasn't with us, I knew my father. He used to come pick us up and take us out and enjoy ourselves with him and all. But I always said that if I ever had some kids, I'm gonna stay with my kids. I'm gonna be with my kids.
Yeah.
And she's what turned my life around, and plus the kids. And life was hard, with anybody else, any kind of relationship, you're gonna have your beef between each other, and some of it was hard. I ain't gonna say that I was
The
angel.
perfect angel or
Yeah,
nothing.
you know,
Yeah.
because I be telling a straight lie for real. But we had our things, and I left home a couple of times, maybe
Okay.
more than a couple of times, because I left home because I had changed a lot. But the thing is, I wasn't in the street, but the street's in me. I got to tell people, I'm still Newark.
Yeah.
And to be straight up, I always said it just like I'm about to say it now. I'm still Newark. I'm a Newark nigga. Straight up. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Like right now, as I said, I'm an ordained deacon in my church.
Yeah.
But I still down below. It's still that person, that attitude, that anger or whatever is still there because of what I'm doing and how I feel about the Lord and what I have learned in the last years. I'm a different man, but he's still
That was
there.
born in you since you was, yeah.
Yeah.
Since that doctor didn't give you a chance to even survive, and that one gave you that chance, so it was born in you.
Yeah, it's just natural. We all, I don't care, the Pope, he has, I don't care who it is. If you living and breathing, you got a dark section in you. You got a dark spot.
Yeah.
You know, you got some evil, man. That's why, I mean, just like you, me, any man or woman, they do the wrong thing, push the wrong button.
Yeah.
That beast, I call him, in me, I have a beast. And if he get out, he's out. I used to tell, when I was young, I used to tell, okay, you keep it up, man. I'm telling you, I don't want to, but if I have to,
You gonna make me jack you
that's
up.
right. You know, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
If you ain't man enough to stop me, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. Because to me, actually, it feels like that dark spot, that beast in me, once it get out, it's hard to stop it or slow it down.
Yeah.
Because it's
take you to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and I'm a beast.
Yeah.
I'm a straight beast, and I
Yeah.
know it. So I tried my best, and I had done very good. Even I told the dude in church when I first got there, he did something that said something to me, and when he said it, I forgot what it was. When he said it, then he walked up with an attitude,
as if he was going to do something.
Yeah, you know, just
like a presence to him.
Woofing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, me being me, the first thing I did, you know, and then sometimes no. And I almost fell trying to get away from it. Because another thing about, that's why I call it a beast, because once I hit, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to jail to get in no trouble, lose my job behind a busted lip. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Either you gonna whoop me or I'm gonna whoop the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? That's
so you basically saying you ain't gonna stop at just no busted lip. If I jump on you, they gonna have to pull me up off you.
That's right. It ain't gonna be like, oh, all right, man. Boom, that's it. No, that
Yeah, once you let it out, it's out.
I'm committed.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I told that dude, man, I left the church that day. And I almost ran over a old lady that was walking up the aisle. Because I knew if I turned back, I was going to go dead at her.
If you saw him again with that fire and that rage that was in your heart.
And the next day I came back to church to talk to somebody, talk to the pastor about it. And he was there. And that's I talked to the pastor. And I don't think he said anything to me, but I told him, I said, man, what you did to me yesterday, you can't do that. I'm straight out the street. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't treat a person like me trying to get better, trying to do better, and you gonna approach me like you can ready to do something. It's automatic.
Yeah.
I believe I cuss. I started to break neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
And,
we glad that you was able to talk through that one, and you had the pastor behind you to help you get down off of that ledge, because I see that you got it in you and you trying to change and be a better man and try to influence people and be here for your family, and that's what's most important.
yeah, that's most important. And that's the most important. And that's the thing that will get me in trouble, get me killed, or get me locked up is my family.
Yeah.
Because I don't have no business. I don't have no large bank account. I don't have none of that. My progress, what I accomplished in this life is my family.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, even when I got upset, because I my temper, I didn't want that beast to get loose on my wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would leave home. Sometimes I would get a hotel, or not a hotel, but a motel, and stay the night just to calm down and get it together.
Cool
You know what I'm
down.
saying?
Yeah.
But I always said that no other man will raise my children. I don't give a shit what I had to do. No other man was gonna raise my children, and I meant that.
I know that's
and I
right.
mean that now. I mean, to mess with me is one thing, but to mess with my family, that's something else. And I think any average man would feel the same way about that.
Yeah.
What you mess with him, then that's up to him how he feel and what he gonna do about it. But you mess with my family, oh nah.
Yeah.
Now it's different if you mess with one of my sons, my grown sons, because he's a man, he can handle that on his own.
Take care of themselves.
But you go mess with one of the women, oh man, you don't do that. You don't do that. So,
and
yeah.
so as we, get to, winding down and getting ready to get out of here, it definitely was, an exciting conversation. And I wish, we had more time and we could speak about a wide more range of topics. But as we, wind this down, what do you feel like is the blessing or the lesson that you would like to share with the people out here from Newark, New Jersey and beyond from your travels?
There's a lot of things coming to my mind. I got to pick one. All I can say is what I feel, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's so hard. It's harder now. For me, it's harder now than it once was, because you got all the drugs out here. You got kids, 13, 14 years old, that's drugged out, or either carrying guns and killing each other and doing stupid stuff. We did a lot of things when we were stupid, that was stupid back in my day, but it wasn't to the level that it is now.
Yeah.
It had no respect. They don't even have respect for their parents.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, and I'm old school. I believe in some children you just have to beat. Some children you can scare or you can talk to, and talk to them with a serious voice, and that'll work. But some kids you just gotta get physical with.
Yeah.
I ain't telling them about breaking nothing or torturing them, nothing like that. But you should start from the moment as getting young, so they'll grow up with it. You can't wait until a girl or a boy, especially a boy, gets 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and then demand
try to
respect.
Discipline them and respect and all of that
stuff. Too late
stuff.
for that.
It's too late by that
Yeah,
moment.
because I know I know Monroe. I know it didn't happen that with y'all. You had to respect. You had to.
Definitely.
And that's the same way I am. I didn't do it the way my family did it. It was different, but it worked. I didn't have a lot of respect for streets and maybe even in school, but I had a lot of respect for my family and
the
still
adults.
do. Yeah. But other than that, that's about it. Just only thing I got to say about Newark is it's hard now. It's harder. It's harder.
And so one thing that I see that you get very, very passionate about is family.
It
and,
definitely.
protecting family, fellowship, showing up for your peoples. These all seem to be virtues and values that you hold near and dear, and I do as well. That's what cultural currency is about, trying to uplift the next ones that's coming behind us and show them that family is very important out here.
It
And
is. It truly is.
the more we grow and pull each other up, the better we'll be.
Right. Definitely. And teach one another. One teach the other. That's what it is. I
Each one
mean,
teach one is what they say, right?
that's right. And that's we as a people have been doing that far as I can know for centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have books and tapes and different things that like technology like we had now. Only way you knew anything about your history and about your people, about your family, is be told to one to other.
The word of mouth.
Yeah, they would even sing songs, make up songs with the history in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it means a lot.
That's
Because if it
deep.
wasn't for that, what would we be? What
You're
would we be?
100% right.
That's-
And if you don't know your history and your people, they say you're doomed to repeat it, right?
right, doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
And then if you keep repeating it, you're not going nowhere. You always be in the same place, the same
Stuck
area.
in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And so with that being said, man, I appreciate you for opening up, telling us a little bit about your family and your history and, how you grew up, as a young man in the city of Newark, a city that I love and hold near and dear to me. That's where I was born at. That's where I was raised at. And, hopefully the people out there can get something from your story. It seems like I
hopefully.
said, it's about family, protecting and providing and, trying not to deal with the drugs and the alcohol and the things of that nature. And it's a higher power other than ourselves that's out there that people have to
Yes.
look to.
Believe that. Believe that. That's the thing I love the most. That helped me the most. I found Jesus. I mean, people, you just don't know unless you try him. It took me a while before I really got it. I actually cried a lot of times in church, and I didn't know why. But now I know why, because I was coming from the darkness into the light.
Yeah.
And I cried, but it wasn't pain or anger or anything in that neighborhood. It was joy, or a feeling of relaxation and comfort and not being alone, all that and then more too. But I used to try to sing this song, Amazing Grace, because I always felt like, and still feel like, that's my, what you call it, but that's my story.
Inspiration or
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Testimony, that's what I'm trying to
testimony.
yeah, my testimony. That's who I am. That's who brought me through to what I am.
Yeah.
Because without that, I'd have been gone. But yeah. But I thank God, and I know now that in my hardest times and my hardest situation, and one of those, the latest one has been, I lost my son, and I lost my Lord. I lost my wife.
Yeah.
And I didn't just lose her. She had cancer, dementia, and something else. I don't know. It might have been pneumonia or something. But anyway, losing a person is rough enough, like you lost your uncle just recently.
Yeah.
But when you lose a person, you got to actually watch them suffer. I mean, seriously suffer.
In the pain.
Yeah, and crying. She had got so in her last days that you just touch her, because we had to turn her over so often, every 2 hours or something like that. But even to touch her, just to raise her arm or to move her arm from one, she would holler and scream. And that's the kind of things that when you lose somebody that you love terribly and you got to watch them go through what you want go through. She sat there on that couch. Me and her sat there on the couch. I have cried. I went through a lot. God knows I have been through a lot. But the woman she was when she left here is the woman that I married. Something changed her doing before that. I don't know for sure, but I experienced a lot, and I feel though it's possible that when her family came up here, and I'm not saying that her family came up here and they just doing certain things on purpose to cause a problem between me and her, but it happens. It happens. Sometimes it
Yeah.
just happens. It's nobody's fault. That's why a lot of people move away from their families so
Yeah.
they can just have their own personal life, visit from time to time, but not actually living where you're
In
constantly
close
in contact.
proximity, so they judging you and
Yeah,
looking
all
at you
that.
and
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But that's what hurt me so bad. It's bad enough that she left, but I didn't get the woman back until she was leaving me. But I'm glad for that. I'm thankful for that. We used to sit on that couch and she would tell me over and over how much she loved me and how much she uh, uh, so sorry for the way she have done a lot of things, and I did the same thing, and it was just
So did
that hurts.
it gave you, it kind of at least gave you that closure and that
Yeah,
peace
the
to
closure
kind of
I enjoyed. Yeah,
yeah.
because that wasn't like we was angry to each other or
Yeah.
I was out somewhere
And
else
that
with
would have
somebody else.
tormented you to your
Yeah,
last
yeah,
days if you wouldn't have been able to
yeah.
get that across, you know what I mean, while she was still here.
Days in and days out, it was just we just sit there and she would lay on my chest and we just sit there holding each other. I'm telling you, man. And short, I'll make this short. When we were down at my daughter's house in South Carolina, after a while, she kept saying over and over and over again, "I want to go home. I want to see my church family." She kept saying that over and over and over again, in the saddest way. And then sometimes she had got so she was so regular at any time. I guess that part has part to do with the dementia.
Yeah.
She would just stand there, and she would just jump up, not jump, but just go up on her toes and come back down like it did in that, I forgot what picture where this woman was wearing a pair of red slippers or something.
Okay. I
But
think
anyway,
maybe that was the Yellow Brick Road with
yes,
yeah,
that
Dorothy and them.
picture, yeah.
Yeah.
And she kept on saying, I want to go home. I want to go home.
Oh, because I think her line was, "There's no place like home. There's
Yeah,
no place like
yeah,
home."
that's exactly what she was saying
Okay.
over and over again. And she used to say it she'd be downstairs looking at TV or something on the front or what, anyway, and she'd just start saying it. And when we get in the room together, she would say, "No, I want to go home. It's all right down here, but it ain't home. I want to be around my family. I want to see my church people." And I promised her I was going to bring her back. Everybody kept telling me, "No, you don't need to be trying to get her back up there by yourself."
Yeah.
You know, and I some came over me. I just had to bring her back. She just wanted to go so bad, and I just seen it in her. I brought her back, but I don't have time, and I don't even want to go through it. By her with that dementia, things I had to go through on that trip, and we took a train back.
Okay.
Hours had to do with it.
Yeah.
She was cussing me. She was punching me. She was messing with other people. They'd be asleep or dozing off.
Yeah.
She would reach over and grab them and stuff, you know, and trying to get her off the train and downstairs to catch a cab or something. Several times she almost walked out on the off the
The
what's it?
platform
Yeah,
up there.
down into the tracks
Yeah.
because she would be here for a second, then she'd
And
be
then
gone for a few seconds or
yeah.
minutes. And I had like 6 bags, and huge bags of some of them, and I had to take one bag at a time, run over there and drop it off, run over there, then run back and keep an eye on her. And,
All while still making sure that she good. If
yeah,
she
and
had
all
done went
that.
off somewhere.
And she's fighting me. She don't want to go wherever I want her to go. And I seen a cop all of a sudden. Yeah, I asked him, can he get me some help? Can he help me somehow or something like that? And the man looked at white man. He looked at me and said, "It ain't my problem. It's your problem. You got to do about that." And that's one time I was thinking, like, I want to knock the shit out this mother.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't. But in any case, I got her, and she punched me several times and embarrassed me and just I thought I was gonna go crazy, but I got it back here.
Yeah.
I got her back here. I called Norman just before I got off the train, and he came down, and that helped me a lot. And I ran into a decent cop, and she was in there with a lot of those derklets and bums.
Okay, yeah.
And she was up there talking to them and
Down there
laughing
at
and
Penn
joking with
Station.
them. Cause at Penn Station, I had ran back to get some bags and then get some more bags and bring them up to where I could see her. And when I went over to get her from them, she telling them that she don't know me. I don't know who the F this is. And don't let him bother me. And they started looking at me. They get ready to move on me. And it's about 6 or 7 of them dudes, man.
Oh man.
Black and white, man.
You was gonna have to bring the beast out, huh, Big Norman?
Oh yeah, I had to if I was gonna survive it.
Yeah.
But I reached in and grabbed her by the hand, and I was talking to the dude. I said, "Man, this is my wife, and she's sick. She had dementia." And I was trying to talk to her all the same time I was talking to her. To them, it was like she was still being angry. She was listening to what I was saying to them.
Yeah.
So I had her hand, and she was following me as I was talking. And then after I got far enough away, then I got turned to go in front, and she got halfway in there. That's when she started acting up again.
Okay.
But man, I'm proud I did it, and that's the hardest thing I had to do. But that part was hard. And one day
Yeah,
she was
I could
sitting
tell
on
it hurt you.
She was sitting up there, and she started crying. I said, "What's the matter, Annie?" She said, "I'm scared." I said, "Scared of what?" She said, "No, man, I'm scared." And she kept saying that. I said, "Why? What you scared of? Ain't nobody gonna bother you. Ain't nobody gonna come in here and bother you." And Darius was in here. And I said, "Me and Darius ain't gonna let nobody come in here and bother you. Right, Darius?" And Darius said, "No, Grandma, ain't nothing gonna happen." But anyway, I didn't know. After she passed, and I think it was Prina that told me, Dad, she knew she was dying. That's what she meant. And I'm so glad that I really didn't understand. I really didn't understand. She was scared, and I can understand that. But if I'd have known that, it would have
hurt you a lot more.
Going through what I went through her, and then finally losing her.
So was it many days after that she actually wound up passing?
I say it was about a week.
About a week later?
Yeah, because she didn't pass until like a week after her birthday. Her birthday, they say, and I experienced it, a lot of people, they come back close to normal just before they pass, even if they're in the bed, you know what I'm saying? Their mind get clear, they talking to you, they responding to you and all that. And her birthday, she had a lot of company. Even people came from down south. And she had a lot of people in the back. We were just back there cooking and playing music, taking pictures or whatever. And she was good that day. She was herself. But after that day, a day or two, about 3 days after, she was in the bed, couldn't get up. And in a lot of pain, like I said, that was during the time you touch her. And they gave me a bottle of, they use it for drugs out in the street too, but they gave me a bottle of something this here for pain. It killed the pain.
Okay.
And it had a droplet in there that you suck up a little bit, and I had to drop it,
put it like under
mouth.
her tongue.
Yeah, and that would help her pain. And I had to feed her the same way. She couldn't eat
solids.
She
couldn't eat solids. It was like
she couldn't eat nothing. She couldn't swallow. So they would give me. It was orange juice, but something was mixed in it to give her some energy
nutrients
or whatever.
And stuff like that.
And I had to squeeze that in her jaw, right, in about where her teeth are, and she would swallow it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was hard. That was hard. She was in I don't know what they call it when they know they're about to die, and it's a word for it, but they make them as comfortable as they can be in their last days. You know what I mean? And I had to go through that with her.
And so, does any of all of that, kind of make you think about your own mortality in a sense?
Yeah.
Or do you try to not even think about it?
Oh, I've been thinking about it for years. I mean, because I've been living with death. I mean, all my life I was told you can't do this, you can't do that. I remember one time the doctor told me, the white doctor, this when I was grown after I got married, told me that I got to be careful because where my heart is, a good blowjob and a glass of cold water could kill me.
Could take you out.
And the same doctor,
Ain't that some shit?
the same doctor told me I need to get ready to leave here if I don't stop drinking. Either I got to stop drinking and stop get ready to leave here. And he told me what you need to do if you want to feel good. And I'm telling you this just as a doctor and as a friend. Smoke your little weed and get you a nice wine.
Yeah.
And that's it. Don't
But no
drink
more of the
straight
hard
alcohol.
stuff. Yeah.
And that's what that started me. I until just the last 4 or 5 years I stopped drinking and smoking. But that's the reason I stopped.
Okay.
I mean, I started that.
Yeah.
And I'd been to the hospital so many times for my heart. And right now they tell me I ain't supposed to do this, I ain't supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to lift nothing over 25 pounds. And if I walk too far, my heart get to beating sometimes in the middle of the night. Yeah, I know, but the thing helped me is being in church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believing in that higher power, something that's better than yourself, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That Jesus died for our sins.
And that's the part to get me looking forward to. I feel I have hope for the afterlife. Now, before that, I mean, for most of my life, I figure I'm going to hell anyway. So what the hell?
You were scared of the afterlife.
Yeah,
until you got saved.
And I did what I wanted to. I did exactly what I wanted to because I wasn't. My grandmother always used to tell me that, boy, you're gonna end up burning in hell. You keep on doing what you're doing. But I didn't. I believed I was. So if I'm going to hell anyway, what I have done in the past so far, going to send me to hell. So what the hell? I might as well go ahead and
do what you're going to do.
Do what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I'm going to burn in hell anyway.
Yeah.
But now I really honestly feel as though I have hope. It's a possibility that I can. And I can really feel the Holy Spirit with me, just like sitting here, just before we started this, I asked the Father, through the Son, to send me the Holy Ghost to do the best I can and bring back my memories of things that I need to know to make the best out of this I could, that it may help somebody one day. That's why I give a testimony as often as I can. I just did it 2 weeks ago at the church. But through testimonies, I have learned a lot just by listening to people, because a lot of time you're in trouble or you're going through something, then you find out somebody else went through it too. It makes a difference.
Yeah, and that's what cultural currency is all about. The platform that I started, it's to share these conversations, to have fellowship with people, because I often say that we are more alike than we are different. And it's something that you may be going through or have gone through that can help me out on my journey.
Right, there you go. That's what it's about.
People won't know about it unless we talk about it.
Right.
Sometimes we be so scared to put these stories out and embarrassed to talk, but there is someone that can learn something, and if I can do that, I'm all for that. And I appreciate you, Big Mormon, for sitting with me and being vulnerable and sharing your story, man.
Yeah, that's what you said is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Every man and woman should do that, because you keeping your hard times to yourself don't help nobody. But sharing it, like you said, you never know. You never know what's going to help.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And with that being said, if you got anything from this, like, share, subscribe. Cultural currency, time is money. Thank you for investing with us. Peace.
Peace.